You are pronouncing this word incorrectly. I can guarantee it. Hello you, welcome back. Today we are covering one of these words in our yoga practice that I hear so many people, so many yoga teachers, qualified yoga teachers, pronouncing incorrectly. This is just not on for many reasons. If you are a yoga teacher, you have a responsibility. In this video, I'm going to go through what this word actually means, why we chant it, and how to say it correctly. First off, let's talk a little bit about why it's so disrespectful to be pronouncing ancient Sanskrit words incorrectly. When the British ruled India, they considered the practice of yoga, the chanting, all of the elements that make up the practice of yoga to be non-conforming, a little bit woo-woo, and they outlawed the practice. Now, fast forward to where we are, we've got Westerners selling the practice of yoga back to South Asians. But not only are they doing that, they're also doing it and butchering the language. You've got to culturally respect and appreciate the language, the culture, the country, the people from where yoga originated. The only reason you are able to practice as a Western or a non-South Asian person is because of our ancestors who really fought to make sure that these rituals and these practices did not get completely wiped out. It is absolutely your responsibility, if you've gone and done a yoga teacher training, to actually honor and respect that practice. On that note, I have a few other videos on here, but I also run quarterly workshops on how to respect yoga's culture, so make sure that you join them. All the information is in the description below. Let's talk about the word Shanti. The common mistakes that I hear when people pronounce this word is that they say Shanti, like it's a shanty town. It is not a shanty town. We've got two syllables here, Shanti, Shanti. So all I want you to do is practice. And this goes for if you are a practitioner and you enjoy the practice and you want to respect it. And if you are a teacher and you want to make sure that you're communicating it correctly to your students. Because remember, what you pass on to your students, they then go on and pass on. And this is the reason why we've been all pronouncing many of the Sanskrit words incorrectly, because it starts at the top. It starts with the teacher. It starts with how you, if you're a teacher watching this, are educating your students. So it's so important that you make sure you get it right. Now, generally what you might notice is we chant the beautiful mantra Shanti 3 times. Let me tell you a little bit about why we do this. The word Shanti literally translates as peace. And I remember when I was younger, whenever my sister and I would argue, my grandma would say Shanti, Shanti, Shanti to try and keep the peace. So I've been hearing this word for such a long time. It's so beautiful, such a lovely tone to it. And there is a reason that we say it 3 times. And that is to overcome the 3 miseries that exist within the world in different realms. So the first of those realms is in the materialistic realm. You cannot control whether in a deep meditation, when you're really in the zone, there's like an ambulance that drives past you. You can't control anything that happens in your surrounding. All you can control in the materialistic world is how you respond. The second reason we chant Shanti is to connect in with nature and to help us bring peace to the natural environment. So there are natural disasters that happen all the time, some of which due to environmental issues and climate change we're very much responsible for. But on an individual level, what can you do to send peace and protection to yourself and to the rest of the world? And it's to chant Shanti for that second time to protect the nature and everything that falls within it. And then the third reason we chant Shanti is to connect in with the spiritual realm, to find more peace and connection with our spiritual selves that so many of us have kind of just pushed to the side. Now, so many of my students and my private clients, when I do one-to-one training with yoga teachers, ask me, well, when do I say it? Like, do I say it at the start? Do I say it at the end? Do I say it in the middle of the class? What if it's just that I'm teaching a yoga flow? Then is it still right to say it, or do I have to say it in a devotional spiritual setting? So the first thing I would say here is that when you are teaching a yoga flow, or when you are in a yoga flow, think about it less as just moving through a workout and think about it more as being this moving devotional prayer, this connection with body, breath, spirit. Everything is connecting because that is the practice of yoga. In terms of when you can say it, whenever you feel you need it. It doesn't have to be something you just say on the mat, But if you are teaching, it's a really nice way to start the practice, to set the intention, to get everyone to feel really grounded and present, rather than just going straight into the movement. You know, you've got to think about where have people been before they came to class, whether that's online or it's in person. Maybe they've spent half an hour commuting and they've had a really busy, horrible, hectic journey, and they want to get in and take a moment to settle before they start more and more movement. Similarly, a really nice way to end your practice is to incorporate a chant, and also to explain. We're chanting this 3 times to bring peace to the materialistic, to the spiritual, to the natural world. Free ourselves from those 3 miseries and those 3 realms that exist. And that is directly from the ancient Vedic scriptures. Now, just by doing that, incorporating the chant of Shanti, and saying why, so important that you actually explain the word means peace and why we chant it 3 times, because otherwise people are just saying it blindly. When you do that, automatically you have respected the culture from where yoga originates. Automatically, you've given your students more than just a workout. So it's incomparable, really, the practice of yoga to Pilates, to spinning, to running, whatever else it is, because yoga is a deeply spiritual practice as much as it also has physical elements to it. And I think the only way that people can understand this is if you take the time to explain it to them when they are in your class. The other thing I want you to know about when to say it and when not to say it is this word means peace. It doesn't mean peace in the morning, peace in the evening, peace in the nighttime. It means peace, full stop. So you can say it whenever you need to say it. And even if that means in the middle of a practice, say you've got your students in, or say you are the student that is in pigeon pose, Kapotasana, you might be holding that for a longer period of time than maybe your Utkatasana, your chair pose. In your pigeon pose, things come up because we saw a lot of tension in our hips, emotionally, physically. It can feel quite like an emotional posture for many people. That's a really nice time to say, okay, let's bring in this concept of Shanti and really bring peace and acceptance to anything that is coming up for you in this moment. It doesn't have to be just the start and the end. It can be in the middle. It can be in the morning when you're not on your mat. It can be in the middle of your day when you feel yourself reacting to something, when you got a text message from someone being like, can we chat? And you're like, chat about what? You're freaking out. When your boss wants to talk to you and you're nervous, whatever it is, it's a nice word to bring yourself back to. So I hope that you find comfort and literal peace in this word. And I hope that now you understand a little bit more about the word, how to use it, whether you're a teacher, whether you're a student, whether you're both, and how to say it correctly, because how we say words correctly makes such a big difference. I've got a few other videos on here on how to pronounce certain Sanskrit words, but if there's anything that you really want to know how to pronounce properly, then please let me know in the comments. I love to hear from you. I reply to every single one, and really I just want to help. I don't want to blame or shame anyone. I don't want anyone to feel guilty. It's okay if you've been pronouncing it wrong up until this point. But we're here to change. We're here to make sure we're honoring, we're respecting. So let me know. And if you have any questions, get in touch. I'll see you again very soon in our next class. Bye.